Okay, well, we're post-match here at the Leasing.com Stadium. Wanderers defeated in the FA Trophy fourth round this afternoon. 5-0 win for Macclesfield FC. We congratulate them and wish them well in the next round. From our perspective, Mark, obviously a bitterly disappointing afternoon.
Yeah, obviously a lot to cover here, to be honest with you. I mean, first of all, obviously massive credit to Macclesfield. All the talk will be about how bad we were, and rightfully so, but equally Macclesfield were excellent. And there's one big leveller in football, is pace, and we knew going into the game that they had bags of it. We knew that would be their danger, we defensively, first half an hour or 35 minutes pretty much were really poor, lost all our duels, was at 6 and 7s, disjointed, and of course we encouraged some more of the same behaviour. So, the Macclesfield, I think both things today need to be put really clear. Dorking Wanderers were extremely poor, Macclesfield were extremely good, and they're a club that's obviously on the up, and the two Robs have done a great job. And obviously it's fucking hurtful to have what is definitely our worst result in club history and performance. But at the same time, I don't want to take away the credit from the way Macclesfield played. We play teams week in, week out that don't put on that type of performance. I thought they played really well. For as poor as we were, I thought they was great. So Macclesfield, well done to the two Robs. All of their fans as well done, to their supporters. They've got the good times back here at the moment. To our fans, obviously, I apologise on behalf of, the players. There were some fans at the end were pissed off. I'm okay with that. They've waited to the end in the pissing rain, and they know that team performance wasn't good enough. And on the basis that I'm assuming they want to let themselves be known in that situation, that's fine. I've told the players, I'm pretty sure them same people would be the first to jump on them at York and say yes, they're expressing their disappointment. And I think they're entitled to, when they pay their money and travel this far away and watch that performance. We'll definitely, I know it's token gesture when you say this and people say fuck off, I don't want it, but all of those people will get offered a ticket to an away game of their choice, that's for sure. But it's token gesture, mate. A lot of them will say we don't fucking want it, we're here when we win, here when we lose. That's how it works. And we have to be brave, and we have to be strong. Our recent performances have been okay, and we have to find a way now of being resilient and find a way of writing off a huge disappointment and a huge hammer blow in terms of the nature of the game. That's my job. I've been there a few times before. It's like human nature in Britain in some cases, that if you're not doing well, all the losers come out to play because it makes them feel better, and they can't wait for winners to fail, and they can't wait to have a comment about that, and that's probably what makes them the characters they are. My personal character is that, isn't it great that such a small club can be in the national spotlight? So many people fixated on our story. Far more people wanting us to succeed than not. Far more, overwhelmingly more, And when you have the tough times, what are you going to do about it? Like you've got to knuckle down. You've got to deal with it. We've got to take a long, hard look at the management team. We've got a lot of coaches in the building. We've got to look at what we're doing. I'm not interested in bad luck stories about injuries and who's not fit, who is. Basically, we were second best. I'll say one thing, because I stood in the fucking pissing rain myself. Trust me, and I'd rather have been in the dugout, but I'm not going to back down from any situation. And I'll say one thing: we will really work hard to really find exactly what we need to do to make this team a different side, and we'll look to the good times, and we'll look to deliver good times for the fans, and we'll look at this as our lowest step. That's what winners do. You have to find a way forward, and that's what the players and me have to do, and the coaching staff. We're all in it together. This is our journey. It's our map. That's where we are. I think, our team building's not been amazing in the last 18 months. I've said it last season. I think our team 3 years ago was better in the league below. Probably made too many changes. But that said, football's competitive, and it's you come up against teams like today who can do a job on you, and they did. So really, really punishing day. I'm not worried it's not talk about me, Marc White, management team, blah blah blah, the players. It's like we're in it together. That's where it is. That is where it is, and we will find a way of fixing the situation, but it's not good enough.
You mentioned the idea of our side from a few years back, Mark, being a stronger side, and we think back to that. We think about some of those comeback wins we produced in that National League South season. We turn our attention to the here and now. Obviously, a really bad defeat today. We go back to Gateshead, obviously a few weeks back as well. What is it with the mentality of the current group where? Because similarly to Gateshead today, obviously first 20 minutes, not much in it, and had a lot of the possession, but then after going behind, having that setback, then sort of capitulate. What do we put that down to, that sort of mentality thing that's kind of changed?
Well, it's resources, it's the players, some players play at 2-1 down and some jack it in. Some go quiet, some, half a yard off it. We saw that today. All over the pitch. I'll take full responsibility as a manager, but the players put on a woeful performance, and we have to really look hard at those boys that we know will give us everything on the field of play. They might not necessarily be the most technical player, but they're the ones that are taught to their teammates. They're the ones that I think have got resilient mentalities, and we've now got to turn this around in a very short space of time. We've got to go to York City and show some class. That's what we've got to do. And, I'm obviously going to work relentlessly to this Achilles heel of going behind, and then that's almost it to a degree. You can see the players' mentality nowhere near good enough, so that's my job to turn that around.
And you mentioned pace as well, Mark, and obviously credit from the Macclesfield perspective in terms of the way they countered us today. But that, all the while, we've got that experience with some of the older players in the team, and you highlighted pace. But that in tandem with those kind of niggling injuries, obviously Barry Fuller went off late in the game. We know that Jason's obviously in a situation where we're managing his minutes at the moment. I guess recent weeks have kind of highlighted, and of course we've taken those steps this season with bringing in younger players, but that process continues very much in terms of bringing down the average age of the squad, so we've got that balance in place.
Yeah, completely. I mean, it was only sort of 12 weeks ago that we were sort of winning all over the country, good performances, resilient, confidence high, near the playoffs and all the rest of it. But we've definitely got, it's like if the lion's share of the team don't have the right mentality, then the overall balance of the mentality will be poor. You can have one or two players that jack it in at 1 down or get a bit quieter, but if you've got 8 or 9 that get better, you'll be fine. And at the moment, we've got the reverse of that. And that's not good enough at all. And the fans deserve a lot more. I deserve a lot more. We all know what I put into the club. But listen, mate, it's our worst performance and moment in club history, 100%. you know, it'll bring the losers out to play. Of course it will. But equally, there'll be loads of people out there that say, come on, fucking Wanderers, you know, show what you're all about, you know, bounce back. And that's what we'll be aiming to do. But this was a bit of blowdown today. And the fans in particular deserved a lot more, a load more. That's where we are, Dan. It's hard won. Absolutely no excuses whatsoever. And I thought Macclesfield honestly could have won by double figures. And that is an honest assessment of the game. And I will always stand and be honest about football games.
Yeah, credit to our supporters today, 114 making the trip up and obviously taking in the rain that came down in the latter stages of the game as well. We thank them so much for their support. And you mentioned about the scoreline there, Mark, potentially being more. I guess the one positive we can look at today, Harrison Mayle saved 2 penalties effectively. Obviously the rebound went in for the first one, but saved 2 penalties. They made some unbelievable saves throughout the game, despite obviously conceding the goals as well. First half made an outstanding double save as well. So again, on a disappointing day, full credit to Harrison for another good display.
I thought we could have been 5 down at half time. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't have been unjust, and so well done to Alex and his team. Listen, you won't get me sending out the captain, sending out the assistant. I'll obviously stand and front it all up, and on behalf of the players and management team, it was obviously piss poor and unacceptable. We have to find a way now of being resilient and putting that behind us. That's the journey. That's what football's all about. I'll say one thing. You saw it at Horsham earlier in the season. Levels mean nothing. Mate. They really don't. And today we saw that again. So, yeah, just once more apologies and thanks obviously to all of those fans that I know will be really supportive of the situation. They're definitely right to expect a lot more. And for those that are angry at the end, I totally understand that fully. But let's be better than, let's not make that a common theme. It's entitled today, 100%. But I know them fans will equally be the same fans that will celebrate with the players. I know that they wanted to express the day they felt, and so they should have done. That's they pay their money, and what we do really is for them. So that's where we are, Dan. Where we are, mate. That is hard to take majorly, but credit to Macclesfield and the 2 Robs, Alex and the players. They were by far the better side.
Yeah, we wish Macclesfield all the very best in the 5th round of the trophy, and for us it's a quick opportunity to go again this Tuesday away at York, so we look forward to that. Mark, thank you for your time, and we'll catch up on Tuesday.
Cheers, Dan. Thanks, mate.